I actually watched the Sachsenring live, and I would have thought if somebody coming back from a physical ailment that's had him off the bike as long as it's had him off the bike, maybe the most technically challenging track that there is out there, tight, twisty, physical, and he goes out there and just rides away from everybody. I thought the season could have had a big turn right there, but it doesn't seem like he's got that confidence everywhere he goes. And you know, to see some guys racing him like Pecco at Aragon was good. It's great to see different guys at the front every weekend. You know, the injury is always in the back of your head, and it's always something that you're thinking about. Man, if I get off into this corner a little bit too deep and the front starts to push, do I have that physical strength to be able to get the bike stood up, or do I have the ability to do what I used to do on the motorcycle before I was injured? And you know, you're always thinking about it, but as you race and you get more consistent and you get closer to the front every weekend, you just kind of try and shove that out of the back of your head, because you can't let it stay there forever. If you let it, it's going to end up getting the better of you, and you know, it's going to make for a long rest of the season and maybe a couple more years anyway. Bit of a reality check, I'm sure, and it's tough for him, but if I know Marquez and I know the guys at Honda, they're not going to take it laying down. They're going to continue to work. They're going to continue to work to the end of the season. They're going to try and put an even better bike underneath him next year and try and win again.
Before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder to everyone in the room, if you could turn your phones off or switch them on to silent, please. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this exceptional press conference, an in-press conference where we analyse 2021 so far, and we get some thoughts ahead of 2022. With us to discuss this, we have representatives from each independent team here today. Starting on the front row in the centre, Paolo Campanotti, team principal at Pramac Racing. To his right, Lucio Cecchinello, LCR marketing director. On the back row, sitting comfortably in the centre, we have Pablo Nieto, Sky Racing Team VR46 team manager. Hervé Poncherelli, team principal of Petronas Yamaha SRT. Gentlemen, first of all, thank you so much for sparing a little time for us here this afternoon from your busy schedules. I'll ask you a couple of questions first, if that's okay, and then we'll pass over to members of the media. Paolo, I'll start with you, if that's okay. New riders on both sides of the garage this season in 2021, and great success. Some brilliant podiums, of course, a race victory for your rookie, Jorge Martin, as well. How happy are you with the season and how it's gone so far?
So far, I mean, we are very happy, and fortunately, after many years, we had the victory. So we have been close many times. This year, fortunately, we had it. And honestly, the team has made a big step compared to some years ago. Now the riders, we have two very good riders. Both they are very good. They are stimulating each other. And the good things that we will have also them for the next season, that for us is a good, is an important thing, because you can continue the journey that we have started, and we can continue to grow together with them. So I'm really happy for this season, and I'm very optimistic for the next one.
Going on to next season, Paolo, it seems now in modern era in MotoGP, independent teams are winning MotoGP races, which is fantastic for our sport. As you say, you stay with the same riders for next year. Are the expectations greater next year for both Jorge Martin?
Johan is a little bit more mature as a rider, so I mean we don't expect such. I mean, he has already a lot of experience. From Jorge, honestly, is the first year as a rookie, and as a rookie has been a great season. So I'm expecting that next year, having 1 year more experience in the MotoGP, he should improve again. So I think it's for me. I mean, we are really happy about the perspective of next year. Both of them, I say, it's very good. They are
very much indeed. And now we're going to come to Lucio Cecchinello. Lucio, thanks for joining us. After a solid season last year for both Taka and Alex, it looks like it's been a difficult 2021 so far. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, well, definitely our results are below our expectation, as you said. So far, for example, we ended with Nakagami on 15 races, 6 times in the top 10, with the highlight results in Spain with the 4th place. Then with Alex, 5 times in the top 10, with the best results in French. Both of the riders last year were able to fight for the podium, all or most for the podium, and this year we dropped a couple of positions for several reasons. We are now, of course, working and looking to finish the season at the best, and hopefully being able much stronger next year.
You have 2 very talented riders. That's been shown before when the bike is right. I think there's been an awful lot of talk about the Honda in 2021. Marc Marquez himself has said that there's need for improvement. Is it therefore difficult to really have any great expectations for next year until you know what the motorcycle is that you're dealing with?
It's not visible, but Honda made huge efforts in the last months to recover the gap with the competitors. I believe that, you know, the truth is that the fact that Marc Marquez were injured and out for many, many months, you know, and there wasn't really a leader rider to bring up the motorbike development, because we have to remind that Paul joined Honda HRC just this year. Alex moved teams and moved crew. Also Taka from a previous year bike moved to the current year bike. So, you know, some effect that affect the bike development. But definitely Honda is working massively, and they also working on a prototype machine of next year, which is a quite important step, and we are really, let's say, confident that definitely we will be able to cover the gap.
Lucio, thank you very much. We now come over to Carlo Mellini from Team Gresini. Carlo, before we talk about the changes, the big changes for Gresini in 2022, if we could start off by analysing 2021. The year started off in the most difficult way, but I'm sure that Fausto would be so proud of the results and the forward step that Gresini and Aprilia have made so far in 2021.
Yeah, as you said, 2021 has been so far a very difficult year for us. You know, we started back in February with the loss of Fausto, which created an enormous empty space from both sides, emotional and also professional. And it was so big, the space left, that, you know, sometimes, you know, we thought, you know, we're not going to make it. But, you know, that last very, you know, they wanted to cover, to jump on board and push everything forward. The dream, the projects, the legacy. And, you know, a few months after, you know, thinking back, you know, the other option would have been to stop. Would have been any better? I think everyone is happy now to see the Team Gresini still in the paddock and continuing the project. And everyone in the paddock, especially I would like to thank Dorna, Carmelo, always close to us and supporting and pushing us to continue. The sponsors, they kept trusting us. And as you said, you know, the results on the track have been good. I'm sure Fausto would have loved to see Aprilia on the podium after 7 years of work together. We were back in race win in Moto2. So, I'm hoping, he's seeing down back, to us and hopefully cheering to what we're doing for him also.
Yeah, I'm sure I speak for everybody in MotoGP to say we're delighted that Team are continuing racing and looking ahead to next year. An exciting new chapter as well, a change of manufacturer. Fabio Di Gianantonio moves up from your Moto2 team. You welcome back Enea Bastianini into Team Gresini as well. What are you about the forthcoming year?
Very excited. After 7 years of partnership with Aprilia, which we thank for what they've done also with us, a new chapter, always a new challenge, always very exciting. So happy we have announced back in June the partnership with Ducati. And welcome back to Enea. We know him since a long time. He's been riding for us in Moto3, pushing and moving to the Premier Class Fabio Di Gianantonio. So, looks good. We're very excited about the next year to come.
Good stuff. Challenge for Luca Marini as a rider, but for all of you as a team to be in MotoGP. How have you found the challenge? Has it been an enjoyable season? And what have you learned the most so far this year?
Like you know, it's our first year in the MotoGP. We made this agreement with Avintia team. So it's important for us to learn, to improve, to see how it's going this new category for our team. And then it's really important to understand how it's working, no? Because it's completely different from Moto2. We know that is and how it's working also with the manufacturers. With Ducati, we know that the first year always is a little bit hard, but anyway, I think we are making a very good job. We have to, like I say, no, it's important to learn for all mechanics, for all the staff of the team, and then we will jump with our own team in 2022.
Moving on to 2022, Pablo, a blank page, if you like, a new project, despite the fact that, of course, you'll stay with Ducati. There's still no official confirmation on the rider lineup. We all presume that it will be Luca Marini and Marco Bezzecchi. I'm sure you might be able to add something there, but you must be really excited.
Yes, we are excited because in the end, we come in with our own team, everything completely from zero. We start a really, really nice project. Like everybody's know, we know already the riders, but this weekend is important weekend for us, for the family, because of Valentino's weekends, and we don't want to say that everybody knows about the riders that is going to be also in MotoGP and Moto2. We have to learn, like I say, to improve, because it's a new challenge for us, but I think we have a very good support from Ducati, and this is the most important thing, no? We are coming here for make a very good things.
Pablo, thank you very much. Now I'm going to move on to Hervé Poncharal and Tech 3. Hervé, 2020 was always going to be such a hard act to follow after the success for yourself, for KTM, for Miguel. It looks like it's been a challenge at times in 2021. How would you analyse the seasons?
For quite a few seasons, and I know that, what happens today is not going to be what's going to happen tomorrow. So for sure, we ended up the 2020 season on a dream, pole position lap, lap 1 to the checkered flag. But I knew that that was not going to be exactly the same when we will be, on the starting grid in Qatar 2021. We changed a few things, some important things that that are the riders, and. This is I would say this season has been a tough one, but you have to look at the results, but you also have to look at the amount of work, and we've been working very hard, a lot together with KTM. We had up and down, all of us, KTM factory team and Tech 3. I would like to say that we enjoy the relationship with both Danilo and Ikea. The results were not what they were expecting, what we were expecting, but there are a lot of explanation behind. We can see that the competitivity of the MotoGP grid is incredible. Sometimes you're a few tenths behind and you're not in the top 10, which doesn't give you the chance to go directly to Q2, etc., etc. So it was a tough year, but you still have some things to enjoy. And I'm really glad to see that both of our riders are not left, without anything. Danilo is going to open a new chapter in he's going to be on an official KTM for the next Dakar rally, which was his dream. And I would like to thank Stefan Piero to giving this opportunity. There is no announcement regarding Iker, but we all know that he's going to have an interesting ride next season, and that his career will be able to move on, and that he will be able to grow, because he's only 21 and he's a real talent. So this was 21, and I think you have another question regarding the future.
Yeah, absolutely, Hervé. I think everybody in MotoGP, fans, Remy Gardner and Raul Fernandez have been the outstanding talents in Moto2 this year. We can't get carried away because they will be rookies, of course, in MotoGP, but there must be a buzz of excitement in the air about next year.
It's more than a little excitement, We can feel and we can see how gifted we will be next year, because I know Remy have been working 2 years with Fernandez, like we all did since he joined the World Championship. And I think we got two incredible talent, two really nice guys. I wouldn't like to be in Ajo's shoes, because I've been there when we were with both Nakano and Jack arriving in Philippines with 3 points in between them two. So deserve to be champion next year. I mean, this season in Moto2. But we are glad to think we are going to have a world champion and a vice world champion from Moto2 in our MotoGP team next year. We had the chance to have them two here in Misano on the MotoGP bike, and we could see that already after a few laps they were on a real interesting pace. The comments were amazing. So to be in Jerez, hopefully we'll have some dry weather there. And yeah, 2022 looks like to be a very exciting season, and I think we are going to give a hard time to all the guys around us next year.
Thank you very much, Hervé.
Welcome. Also, one thing I would like to add is, if we're here, and I would like to thank, is also maybe good to mention that the level of the satellite independent operation has been increasing a lot. A few years ago, I would say a decade ago, we were here to fill the grid between brackets, and the manufacturer were seeing us like a weight on their shoulder. They had to do it to have a proper grid, but it was mainly, okay, you got the stuff that was supposed to go to the scrapyard, give us some money for it, but you do your job and we are fighting for the championship. Now, I think we've been winning races last year. Aslan did it also. Dona and Herta pushing MSMA, it has been very, very productive. And now you don't have satellite riders or factory riders. Everybody's on the same level. Most of the satellite riders are contracted by the factories. I'm factory racing, on my jacket, and that shows that all what we've been working for the past 10 years have been maturing, and we reached what we wanted to reach. And I would like to thank everybody for this, because this is a different scenario now, and it's not crazy to think a satellite rider could win the championship anytime.
Perfectly put. Thank you, Hervé. You all deserve to be here, that's for sure. Last but not least, we're going to come to you, Razlan. I don't even know where we can begin to start on analysing 2021 for you, for Petronas Yamaha SRT, on and off the circuit. But if you could do your best, that would be great.
Well, where do I start? 3 years as Petronas Yamaha SRT. We tried to carry our momentum from last year, of course, with Valentino and Frankie. Unfortunately, that did not materialize. Valentino struggled. We had some glimpses of Frankie after, with fourth and a podium, and after that he had an unlucky injury. And from that moment, our season basically the way it is. So we just try to survive the year, to do the best we can. And then we received a bombshell that Petronas decided not to continue, and subsequently Sepang circuit also had to stop. So so that's our life from 2019 to where we are now. But we are excited for the future.
Under the new banner, RNF Racing with you, Yamaha, with experience and youth, Andrea Dovizioso and Darren Binder stepping up into MotoGP as well. What a prospect. You must be very excited about next year.
Yes, we like to do something different as what we did in 2019. A combination of experience and youth is something that we think is a good balance. With couple races for Andrea this year, I think he should be up to speed next year on the latest factory spec. And with good guidance from the team and guidance from Andrea, I think we can put Darren to be in a similar situation that we have with Fabio in 2019, we hope. So yeah, we are very excited with the balance of experience and youth. So let's see what happens.
Aslan, thank you very much. That's all from me for now. It's time to pass over to members of the media for questions, starting with Simon.
Hi, gentlemen. Simon Patterson from the race. Razlan, we know that for next year you'll have a sort of very different structure without Johan Stigefeld. Can you give the decision to go with that new structure and how much continuity you're expecting to have from the current team to the new one in terms of logistics and staff and equipment?
Well, basically the sporting side remains the same, especially on Dovi's side of the garage. Of course, with on Darren's side, all the guys from Valentino will leave except for a couple of guys, and we have engaged some exciting prospects for next year in terms of crew chiefs and data guy. In terms of the management side, yes, there is a change. We've come to a point that both parties, myself and Johan, is going to a different direction. But with the guidance of Wilco as a team manager,
I also have a question for Razlan. If you can you explain a little bit more what the differences were between you and Johan and why this split has come about?
Sorry, can you repeat that? What's the...
Just can you, picking up on Simon's question, can you explain a little about why this division between you and Johan has come about? What has led to your differences in direction?
Well, I mean, the last 3 years, we are a team of more than 60 people. So, of course, with the changes of the team, we could not continue with Moto3 and Moto2. So our crew have reduced to nearly... primarily, Johan's role was to look after the Moto2 and MotoGP. We make a decision, well, I made the decision that we can manage with myself and Wilco. And hence we had a mutual agreement with Johan to go in a different direction.
Thank you. And I also have a question for Pablo Nieto. We still don't know a lot about the team. There's a lot of denials from Aramco about title sponsorship. And can you explain, if you can, what's complex and strange?
I know I was waiting this question. Like we make in the past this agreement with Aramco. In Arabia Saudita, the things are going very, very slow, but we are on the way. This is the most important thing, no? We have to continue working, and at the moment, the thing that I can tell you is we are working on that. Is some delays that we have, but...
A one-year deal with an extension to the following years, and we will look at, by mid-June, for them to confirm to continue with us for the following year and so on. So hence why the offer is not to our expectation, but at the same time, I respect that decision due to compliance issues, being a big Japanese firm and so on. In terms of the spec for Darren, it will be a 2021 factory spec. for Darren's first year.
Ask one more, sorry about that. But RNF, what does it stand for? Maybe a really stupid question, but there's been a lot of jokes about it, and I'm sure you've heard some of them. Could you tell us what RNF means?
Yeah, I was discussing this with Hervé yesterday in terms of how he came up with his team name, Tech 3. So basically, it's a tribute to my 3 children, because as you know, all of us travel around the world and we are away from home for so many weeks and months, especially during the last 2 years, where you guys get to go home every weekend. I get to go home only after 4 or 5 weeks. So as a contribution, a recognition to my kids, so it's the initials of my 3 children.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, this is Manuel Pessino, Motosport Italy and Riding Sport Japan. I have a first question for Lucio. Lucio, you mentioned that the results have not been the one as expected for several reasons. You explained one about the bike. Which other reasons were there, if you can explain them?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that Taka, we were close to make good results, close to the podium in Jerez, close to make an extreme good result. So, for example, a couple of weeks ago, what we saw is that the pressure, if you remember also last year when we started in pole position in Aragon, Taka, after a couple of corner crash out. So he definitely needed to work on himself to improve his ability to manage his ability to deal with the pressure. Taka found extremely fast. He was always fast this year. Perhaps we struggled a little bit to be fast immediately. We just needed to work through the practices, and I believe that he can make a quite good end of season, because he really found a very good bike setup. In reality, as I told you before, Honda provides a lot of parts, so he could pick up several chassis items and suspension specification, different suspension specification, and he really customized how fast he can be. With Alex, we have to admit that the truth is that last year Alex is in the second part of the season made podiums. He showed to be able to be with the top riders, and this year is now that we have to point the finger on the bike. That for sure the competitor improve. Also is a matter that we have to recognize that perhaps we need to work hard.
Thank you very much. I have another 2 questions for Carlo. Carlo, I want to know about your presence in the lower categories next season. This is my first question. And the second question is about the leading figure, because we know that you do an excellent job on your side, the marketing side, the sponsoring side, but we have seen in Suzuki that without a real leader in the garage, it's tough.
With finding a new balance in the team. So the family took over, and we moving forward with human resources we have. We don't know. Maybe at some point, if we realize we need a figure, we will talk about. But for the time being, we moving forward this way. And your question for the lower category, yes. you know, we now running for the commitment is huge. So we already with Fausto, we were thinking that with the MotoGP project going back under our full control, now we managing together with Aprilia. Still continue with 4 category, it would have been maybe too much. So we decided to drop Moto3. Is PT also, because it's a category where we did quite good achievement, including the World Championship with Jorge Martin back in 2018. But at the same time, we wanted to keep Moto2 very strategic. It's the door to MotoGP. And MotoE also will continue. So that would be our commitment for next year.
Yes, if you mind, I will do a question. I would like to do a question to Pablo. Pablo, the question is more or less the same. The VX, which category will you race in 2022?
2022, we will race with VR46, 2 teams in Moto2, like everyone knows. One project with Yamaha, that project coming from the Spanish Championship that already was there, so the only thing that's that project growing up and coming to the World Champion. The same team like we have now in Moto2, and then MotoGP, like everyone knows, with Ducati, with these 2 riders that also everyone knows.
And how will you work with your the riders that come into the championship? Would you put them in different Moto3 teams?
Yeah, we will support, let's say, with 2 teams. That is Snipers and Team Avintia, but that teams are completely from we don't have anything, just this agreement, let's say like this, that we will put it some riders from the academy, and in the end it's important for us because we have so many riders from the academy. We try to growing up, and for us, like a team, it was so difficult to continue to have the team from Moto3. I think we have to concentrate in our teams because we have a lot of things to do, and it's important to make it some deals with some another teams.
And last question, sorry, Pablo, is there any chance that the academy?
We was making this question sometimes, but at the moment our project is try to bring young riders from Italy to the World Champion, to the MotoGP class. This is our project. I think at the moment we will continue like this. It's quite difficult because our target is really, really close, and we have now 4 riders in MotoGP, so that means that the academy is working really, really good. I think the thing from the academy is how we are working. No? It's really important how Ucho is making this project from the academy, Gianluca, Carlo. I think all these people are working a lot for try to bring young riders to the MotoGP, and the results are there. So I think it's important.
Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon, gentlemen. Tammy from Sport 5 Israel. First, I have a question for all about the MotoE. We heard the announcement yesterday that Ducati is going to be the sole provider, and I wanted to know your thoughts. And also, Pablo, are you going to be a part of it in 2023? Thank you.
Hi, Paolo.
Lucio.
Someone that have a team in MotoE.
First of all, I would like to say that we are very, very happy to participate in the MotoE because it's a very interesting category, and for us it's a matter of knowing some new technologies that in the maximum, in the top category as well. We never know. Having said that, for us it's not, of course, we are happy and delighted that Dorna made this agreement with Ducati. We believe that this is something that, but our relationship will be exclusively with Dorna, and Dorna just provide the bike, and we are going to be customer of Ducati for charging the spare parts. Having saying that, it's amazing how the category is growing. So we are very excited for looking for 2022 with the last year with Energica, and seeing what's going on from 2023.
MotoE is also a very important project for us, and we've been participating since the beginning. 3 seasons, top 3 always, including the championship win in 2019. And we were keen on participating since the beginning because, it shows how the championship cares for sustainability. And we did want to play, initial part of the MotoE World Cup. And I was happy to see also yesterday Ducati announcing the participation from 2023 onward. I think it will be good to see Ducati bikes on the grid and in the paddock.
I think it's important, really, really important for the championship that kind of manufacturer from Ducati come to MotoE. So I'm so happy for that. I think they will make a very, very good job, and I'm so interested to see the bike. I want to see a MotoE from Ducati.
Yeah, I like everybody said, I think MotoE is clearly when we started to think about MotoE, and I very well remember when we did it together with Carmelo, we always thought for the beginning we should need a one manufacturer championship. Clearly the technology in e-mobility is improving a lot because we started, the whole world started a few years ago with almost no knowledge, and we could see every year the weight is less, the autonomy is more. Both car and motorcycle industry are flat out on this technology. Clearly, the new machine that has been appointed by Dorna will be. We know that brand is part of a big car group. So the bike we're using at the moment, I think, is something like 6-7 years ago concept. And the concept we will have G2, as Domenicali said, and clearly we can hope for a faster, lighter, and more competitive bike without saying anything special regarding the two manufacturers that were involved. Also, the great things about MotoE is this year we had 7 races. We will have 14 races in 2022, which is double the racing. We will have much more television. I think all of the practices and the races will be on television, which is going to be a great help. And clearly we can see that MotoE is more and more a full class in our championship, which I think is the best message we can pass to the world at the moment.
I think it's a good exposure to MotoE. For the last 3 years, cited by it, and we have confirmed for 2 entry for next year, and it also something that our current sponsors would like to have to be included in this e-mobility. So
of them, that is for sure is the trend of the environment, of everything, that it's very important to have it. But to be honest, I like better the MotoGP.
Yeah, so going back to MotoGP, I have another question for you, Compinotti. It can be a big weekend for you as well. You can clinch, if the math is right, the championship this weekend. I wanted to know your thoughts about it, and who do you see as your main rival around you in that room? Thank you.
What did he say? We have a bad...
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Sammy,
yeah.
Sammy,
Speak slowly.
Sorry. The satellite team. I wanted to know your thoughts about it, and I wanted to know who do you see as your main rival with the satellite teams? Thank you.
This I don't know if, but this is the very slippery question. I prefer to avoid it.
Hi guys, I have a question for Carlo this time. I just wanted to know, obviously this year you had a big change with Maverick coming in over the past few weeks. I just wanted to know how he's kind of assimilated himself into Aprilia, how he's settled in and how he's working with the team.
Anticipated in comparison to the original plan. I think it will be, good to have him on the bike already this year, to familiarize with a bike which is significantly different with the one he's been riding until the move to Aprilia, and without rush, let's get him to. And I wish him all the best for the remaining of the season next year.
Thank you.
Another question for Carlo. Obviously, your new 2022 rider has had some very impressive results in the last few weeks. Has that created a conversation with the new manufacturer about the specification of machinery, or is it too late to change?
I think one thing is what we contractually agreed with Ducati, which is the 2021 current factory machine, which has been proven to be extremely competitive. So we're very happy with the package. And as you said, Enea, for example, he's been doing sixth in the past 3 races, which is a quite remarkable achievement, and is not riding the 2021 spec. So, that created a lot of excitement, for us in having him in the lineup. And as you know, he's contracted directly with Ducati. And as usual, if the results continue coming, then I'm sure Ducati will help him and deliver some upgrade for the machine. But as I said, the 2021 package is very competitive, and we're very happy with that.
Gentlemen, that concludes the press conference. A sport in making it great as well. Have a great weekend here in Misano, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you very much. If I could ask you all to please stand for a photo. Thank you.
Così. Va bene?
Va bene così, dai.
We're back in Austin, we're back in America after a 30-month absence. And what a front row.